everybody, and welcome. Today's video is going to show you how I'm going to install some mud flaps here on the Model Y. It's a 2022 Model Y. These happen to be Abstract Ocean mud flaps. I've chosen them, which I paid for with my money, not a donation or some kind of promotion. I have experience putting these on because, as you know, we put them on Greg's Model Y. So let's have a look in the box. Just open the end of the box here now. Let's see what we got. Looks like everything's kind of grouped together, maybe. All right. So this is one side. It looks like there's a floating nut here. I don't think it's sealed. No, it's just floating around in the box. Let's see what else we got here. Here's another mud flap. And I've got more parts and pieces floating around inside of the box. It would have been kind of nice if somebody would have put them in something, but whatever. Let's see, I've got some tools. I've got a extractor tool for the plugs. Got more parts dangling around inside of the box. Got, it looks like a 10 millimeter wrench for the back of it. Got a few more plugs here that are again floating around in the box. I've got a washer, at least a metal washer. All right, let's see what else I can pull out of here. Oh man, there's all kinds of floating parts in here. All right, so, whoops. All right, so this is another mud flap. And the fourth mud flap here. Okay. All right, and a box full of loose parts. So I can get them all out of here. Hope I didn't lose any parts. I have no instructions in the box. No instructions outside of the box. Oh, this doesn't look very good. I wonder if somebody opened it up before they shipped it. I don't know. All right, I'm going to set the box down since I can't find anything else in the box. I got all kinds of stuff here. I got some random piece of plastic off something. All right, let's see what parts we actually have, and let's see if we have enough to do the job. Okay. Here you go. So this was floating around in the box. I think there may be one more part that was in one of the mud flap bags, maybe. No, not in there. No, not in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Thought I saw something. All right, well, here we are. Let's see what we have here. Uh-oh. I don't ever like when there's just one nut. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's stack them up here. Let's see if we have a even number. It almost looks like somebody had this apart and returned it to them, and maybe they returned it to me or sold it to me. That would suck big time. Can't say that's what happened, but you know, when you go to the store and you buy something that's open, you just never know what you may have or not. Okay, so I've got 4 washers. I've got 1 random nut. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 plungers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, good. I got a match there. I've got 10 of these plugs which will hold in the new mud flap in the existing holes. I have 1 random nut. And I've got 4 washers, and I've got a 10 millimeter wrench here. Okay, it's cool. Well, now where are the instructions there, buddy? All right, I'm gonna go see if I can locate the instructions. I'm assuming for 85 bucks they would include instructions, but probably not. All right, well, let's see what I can find. I went on to Twitter and followed the Abstract Ocean people, hoping they might have a DM, but they did not. That's direct message for you non-Twitter people. Here's the bag it came in, and if you look at it, the whole bottom of the bag just kind of blew out. I just watched the Abstract Ocean video. It's very well done. It's very easy to do. I did install a set of these, and I don't recall having a nut, right? It looks like a 10 millimeter nut. I don't know where it would go. I don't recall on the last install that I actually used washers, but maybe I need that to buffer the bolt in the rear of the mud flap. I don't know. Rest of it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to attempt it, so let's get to it. After reviewing the Abstract Ocean video, their mud flap is not even the same. In fact, this mud flap is not even the same as I installed on Greg's car. So that's fine. And I thought, well, what the heck is all this extra plastic, right? Well, somebody actually improved the mud flap. However, there's no mention of it anywhere, but it's okay. I think it's a better design. After playing with it, you notice right up here, you see that? That is a protruding bolt from the outside. It's threaded and it feels plastic, but it appears it's got some kind of a nut here I can unscrew. Now, I'm not sure why it's here. I'm sure that it's here to hold the inside of the wheel on. But if I unscrew, let's have a look. I unscrew this little plastic nut. It's okay, looks pretty cool. And that goes right here, right? And it appears from just the feel that it is plastic, but it's solid. It may be metal, it may be some kind of a PEM nut, what we used to call in electronics, made by a company called PEM, P-E-M. It may be part of the frame that they stick through now, and it holds the inside of the wheel on. So when I take this new flap and put it up here, as you can see, look at that. How about that? So the improved mud flap here by Abstract Ocean is pretty cool. However, guys, you might want to update your online video. Very well done, but it doesn't include this extra bolt sticking through, some kind of a threaded stud. All right, well, let's get to it. It's not that difficult. Set up some cameras so you guys can see, and we'll see what's going on. I've got the pups here. Hank, are you helping today? Yeah? Are you helping? How about you, Luna? Are you guys going to help put these mud flaps on? I hope so. The mud flap now. This being a 2022 Model Y, it has an additional bolt up here, or at least this bolt, which may be steel or aluminum, which I've removed the nut. The nut is here, and it's a little plastic nut, which is fine. There are no instructions, and the instructions online at Abstract Ocean are inaccurate, so that's all right. I've installed these mud flaps here, so let's get to it. First job is remove these plugs. This is the tool that came with it. It's awful giant, but it does a fine job in removing the plug here. Set that down. See if we can get this other one out. Shouldn't take too long. Of course, you say that, and then it does. Come on. Got to get the little pop top up. There we go. All right. So now the last one I installed, I didn't have this gigantic piece of plastic, and I figured out what the heck's that? Well, turns out it's an upgrade from the existing mud flap. So once we do this, we need to remove the 10 millimeter bolt here on the bottom. And of course, I left the wrench over there. Now we need to remove the 10 millimeter bolt here on the bottom. It's hard to see. My GoPro won't get it. If I move it, maybe. It's kind of slow or kind of close, but it's all right. This is onto the underside of the car. And I don't think it's in steel. I think it's just in plastic. So we're going to carefully unscrew it, making sure that it does back out when you do it. If you happen to over tighten it, bad things happen because you'll strip out the threads here. Now, if you find that this bolt is not coming out, you can use this tool here to supply some down pressure as you unscrew it. It helps the bolt unscrew. But mine's coming out just fine, so I don't need this tool. Just take our time and unscrew it. And I suspect that this bolt here is screwed into the plastic underneath, which is fine, but you can't go crazy with it. All right, let's have a look here. Yeah, it looks like maybe there was some thread locker on it, which is still on, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and set that down. Now we're going to fit the mud flap on. Move the GoPro here a little bit. So, part of the install are these little tang things here, right? And before I found that it was easy to hook it onto here by sliding it from the bottom upwards. That may be a little difficult now. Get my fat head in here. Now it seems to still be working. Just like that. All right. You saw what I did. I took the mud flap, hooked these two things on here, and slid it up onto the escutcheon. All right. And when I did that, the bolt now comes through. So in my pack, I had one number 10 nut, and I'm assuming their intention was to put it here. While that's all fine and dandy, I am going to use one of the supplied washers here, and I think I will use the existing plastic nut that actually went onto up here, and of course clockwise, righty-tighty. Okay, I'm not just going to hand tighten that for now. And then I'm going to take one of the supplied larger plugs here and stick it through. Hopefully we're lined up. It's hard to see because I can't get my fat head in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. It went up just a little too high. Let's see now. Perfect. Okay, then I'll take the second plug, stick it into the hole. All right, now, before we put the pins in these plugs here, I want to make sure that we're still clipped on using the clip here and here. And we are. And I'm thinking we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the plug, which spreads the back of these plugs out. And I remember from Greg's car, we've got to use a wrench here to push some down pressure to get these guys in. Well, maybe. Okay. All right, let's try that again. I suppose you can take the wheel off, but it's really not necessary. It's too much screwing around, actually. So part of these plugs is you need to put pressure towards the car, and I'm going to see if I can use this wedged against the wheel for down pressure. it's wanting to spread it out. Come on, baby. Ouch. Oh, that was a good one. So, the little pin broke. Some high quality stuff here. Alright, so it broke. It did expand slightly, so what I'm going to do is just take the existing pin there that broke and push it just a little further to make sure that the plug expands. Alright, well, let's try this now. I'm going to try an old mechanic's trick. A little spit on it. And you say, well, why? Well, part of that is a little lubrication. Never hurts. Alright, I'm going to use the back of this now and push down. And that went on just fine. Alright, now I'm just going to retighten this top plastic nut that actually came with the car by hand. You don't want to go too crazy. And then I'm going to now reinsert the bolt here at the bottom of the car. Now that everything else is lined up. Now, as I stick this in, find the threads here by hand. Let's move our camera around here. See if you guys can see this as well as I. And I'm going to put this back into the car, but I'm going to be very careful about it and feel the whole way. You do not want to cross-thread it if you can help it. Seems to be going in. It's tight, but it was the same as I had when I pulled it out. Maybe that view's a little better for you. Okay, I think we're there. It's got a little gap, maybe. I just hate to over tighten it. Don't think it. Just twisting it with my left hand here, not using the handle. There. Now we're tight. Heads down onto the washer, and we're good to go. Let's take a look on the other side here. Get all the lights where they're supposed to be. Hand tighten this down a little bit more. I think I could probably use another nut, but that should be fine. My pins are in and solid. And there you go, the left rear mud flap is installed. I think you guys need to see exactly what I did on the opposite side of the car, but you guys probably want to see what it looks like on the front. So let me set the cameras up and we'll do the front left. We are set up in the front left wheel, and I think I've got all my stuff. As you can see, we've got this plug and that plug, and that's it. There's no bolts or anything else. So we'll go ahead and remove the pin here. Pop the pin out. Get the deal out. Same with this one. You just pop the little head off. Pull the pin out. Okay? So now the way this works, you've got a little hook on each side here, and that hook's right up underneath the wheel trim. So to do this, I found before, you start low, you hook the first one on, slide it up, second one goes on, and that's essentially it. That'll hold this on we take our plugs here, and I try to find the hole. There's the hole, and the other hole, it's over there. Take our pins, mechanic trick, a little bit of spit, and I'm going to use the wrench here to push down on this pin. Okay, I've got this. There we go. See if you guys can see that one better. Go ahead and put the pin in. Maybe I can put it in by hand. Almost. There's no leverage here. It's got a Phillips plug on the top, but it is not a Phillips screw. And that's it. Wham bam. 3 minutes tops. There you go. So I'm going to go do the other mud flaps the exact same way, and we'll check it out when I get all done. Yeah, so here's a little detail I just discovered. These little nuts that were on this threaded stud right here were on, and you can unscrew it by hand, right? But it's a quick nut. It's kind of like a Tinneman nut, if you're old and remember that. A Tinneman nut is a metal nut, and you can sometimes push them down and they click down the threads. Well, that's exactly what this is. So just to show you what I mean, if I stick this on this threaded stud, and all I have to do is push it down to the bottom. There it is. So now I can see why the folks here at Abstract Ocean included a 10 millimeter nut. I don't think this is going to hold the mud flap properly, so I'm going to go find a 10 millimeter nut and put that on this flap. This is the back right. You know, it's really hard to get good help these days. I rely on Hank and Luna to help me out, and look at them. They're sleeping on the job. I dug through my own stock, and I think I found some compatible nuts. They're metric number 6. And I think it's 1 millimeter a turn. Anyway, let's see if this works. And I also found some split washers because apparently you don't want it coming off without a washer. Yeah, this nut I had in stock, which is an M6, fits this just fine. All right, so I'm going to use this and use one of the supplied washers now. And my split washer. There's one of the. I'm gonna have to put my hands down here. All right, so I've got I've got the supplied black washer, one of my split washers, and a stainless number 6 here. All right, and I'll use the supplied wrench that I used to remove the bottom one. And with any kind of washers and things, I just tighten until the split washer compresses, and then it won't go anywhere. Just easy, you don't wrench on it. Just twist right at the shank. There you go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to do that on the first side, and one of the pins broke on this side too, so I'm going to try again. We'll get this done, and the back right side and all the mud flaps will be finished. I got to go fix the back left. All right, both plugs are in, and they're secure. The mud flap is on, clips are in, and the stainless nut, split washer, and supplied flat washer are down. And the bottom bolt is also tight. So I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and fix the first one on the other side. Let's go get that done. All right, camouflage 4, you can't see anything. Here's what we're going to put on. Got a split washer, the flat washer that came with it, and a stainless nut. So let's get that on. There you go. Get the wrench. And again, I'm not sure if this is a metal stud or a some kind of a plastic stud. I'm assuming it's metal of some kind, possibly even aluminum. But you just tighten a split washer generally until the split goes flat, just like that, and we're on. All right, now as you see, I busted the center on this. I'm going to pop that out and replace it. All right, we're all done. Everything is the way it should be. Let's have a look here what the mud flaps actually look like. Fits good. Bolt and everything is there. Other side is the same. Let's have a look at the front mud flap. All right, here's the front mud flap. As you can see, both pins are down. It's on, it's clipped onto the wheel, the scutcheon here. All right, well, that's it. The Abstract Ocean mud flaps went on real well. I will say, though, that the instructions, at least online video, needs to be upgraded. It's showing the old design. The new design with the added nut and bolt there at the top gives the rear mud flap very much strength, and I think it's needed. I would imagine the vibration from wind and things is a problem that needed to be dealt with, and that extra stud up top worked out really well. I wish the parts were complete here in the Abstract Ocean pack. Apparently the bag failed, parts fell out, and some FedEx or UPS guy has my parts, but I made up the difference here with my local stock, was able to figure out what's going on after looking at the job. The mud flaps went on really well. I think if you are looking for mud flaps, these are certainly good ones. I think the design is good. I think that having a little bit more instruction for the novice would help the novice. But I think if you have any kind of intuition in mechanics, I think you can figure it out yourself. I hope my video was some help too, to be able to do the job. It's not difficult. Again, you just look at the problem, figure it out, and do it. If you liked today's video, go ahead and click the like. And if you would please subscribe, I would certainly appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video. It'll have the floor mats in it. Thanks for watching. I'll look for you in the next videos, and take care.